Have you ever wondered about the Stanley Hotel, the inspiration behind Stephen King's The Shining? Well, you're in for a chilling tale. Nestled in the scenic Estes Park, Colorado, the Stanley Hotel isn't just known for its breathtaking views and early 20th century architecture. It's renowned for its spectral inhabitants and spine-tingling tales that have echoed through its hallways for over a century. Freeland Oscar Stanley, a man of ambition and vision, erected this grand structure in 1909. Little did he know his hotel would become the epicenter of countless haunting stories and the muse for one of Stephen King's most famous novels, The Shining. Yes, my friends, the Stanley Hotel is not for the faint-hearted. Its fascinating history is intertwined with eerie tales of phantom children playing in the corridors, spectral figures lurking in rooms, and ghostly piano music echoing in the dead of night. So, are you ready to dive into the eerie history of the Stanley Hotel? Our story begins in the early 20th century, with a man named Freeland Oscar Stanley. A native of Maine, Stanley was a successful entrepreneur, having co-founded the Stanley Motor Carriage Company with his twin brother. But beyond the world of business, Stanley was also a man of refined tastes, with a deep appreciation for the arts, and a love for the great outdoors. In the summer of 1903, Stanley was diagnosed with tuberculosis. His doctor recommended a change of climate, and so Stanley and his wife Flora packed their bags and headed for the fresh mountain air of Estes Park, Colorado. The majestic beauty of the Rockies revitalized Stanley, and he quickly fell in love with the area. But being a man accustomed to the comforts of the city, he found the rustic accommodations of Estes Park lacking. And so, inspired by his love for the region and his desire for comfort, Stanley conceived the idea of building a grand hotel. A hotel that would not only provide luxury accommodations but also serve as a cultural hub, bringing the sophistication of the East Coast to the wilds of Colorado. In 1909, the Stanley Hotel opened its doors. With its sprawling lawns, panoramic mountain views, and elegant Georgian architecture, it was an instant success. The hotel boasted state-of-the-art amenities including electric lights, telephones, en-suite bathrooms, and even a fleet of Stanley steamer automobiles to transport guests. Stanley had envisioned a resort that would cater to the elite, and that's exactly what he achieved. But the Stanley Hotel was more than just a luxurious retreat. It was also a symbol of Stanley's resilience, a testament to his unwavering belief in the healing powers of nature. Stanley himself lived to the ripe old age of 91, outliving his initial prognosis by nearly 4 decades. Little did Stanley know, his grand hotel would soon become famous for reasons beyond its stunning architecture. As time passed, the Stanley Hotel would evolve from a symbol of luxury and perseverance into one of the most haunted locations in America. But that, dear listeners, is a story for the next scene. Almost immediately after its opening, strange occurrences started to take place in the Stanley Hotel. No sooner had the guests begun to settle into the grandeur of the Stanley Hotel than whispers of the inexplicable began to circulate. The lights would flicker without reason, and guests reported hearing laughter and music echoing through the halls when no source could be found. The piano in the music room would seemingly play of its own accord, the keys dancing under unseen fingers. The first reports of spectral sightings began to trickle in, each more chilling than the last. A woman was seen wandering the corridors late at night, disappearing when approached. Guests would wake in the early hours of the morning to find their belongings mysteriously rearranged. Some even claimed to have seen figures standing at the foot of their beds, watching them as they slept. Among the most notorious of these early encounters was the sighting of a ghostly figure in the hotel's ballroom. Late one evening, a group of guests claimed to have seen a woman dressed in old-fashioned clothing, dancing alone in the middle of the ballroom. As they watched, she seemed to fade away before their very eyes, leaving only the soft strains of a forgotten melody lingering in the air. The staff of the Stanley Hotel were not immune to these strange occurrences. Many reported hearing phantom footsteps echoing down the empty corridors, and some even claimed to have seen apparitions in the mirrors. But despite the growing unease, the hotel continued to welcome guests, its grandeur undiminished by the whispers of the supernatural. As word of these hauntings spread, the Stanley Hotel quickly earned a reputation as one of the most haunted places in America. Yet, far from scaring guests away, this only seemed to attract more visitors, eager to experience the unexplained for themselves. These initial sightings were just the beginning of the Stanley Hotel's eerie legacy. Over the years, the Stanley Hotel has become home to a cast of ghostly characters, each one with a tale as intriguing as the last, forever etching their presence into the hotel's rich tapestry of history. Let's start with the hotel's original owner, Freeland Oscar Stanley. He and his wife Flora were the beating heart of this establishment, and it seems they loved it so much they never left. Guests and staff have reported seeing a well-dressed gentleman believed to be Mr. Stanley appearing in the lobby and the bar. Some have even claimed to see him behind the reception desk, as if checking on his beloved hotel. Flora Stanley, Freeland's wife, was not only a gracious hostess but also a talented pianist. Even today, her love for music echoes in the hotel's halls. There are accounts of a piano playing in the ballroom, only to find no one there when investigated. It's said to be Flora, still playing her favorite tunes for the guests. In addition to the Stanleys, another notable apparition is that of a former housekeeper, named Elizabeth Wilson. In 1917, during a severe thunderstorm, she was lighting the lanterns in room 217 when an explosion occurred. She survived but passed away years later. Since then, guests staying in that room have reported belongings being mysteriously moved, lights turning on and off, and even the sensation of an unseen force tucking them in while they sleep. It seems Miss Wilson is still diligently performing her housekeeping duties from beyond the grave. Then there are the playful spirits of children running and laughing in the hallways, often heard but seldom seen. These are believed to be the spirits of children who once stayed at the hotel during its early years. These spectral residents, each with their unique quirks and characteristics, have ensured the Stanley Hotel's place in paranormal history. Their tales continue to captivate those who dare to spend a night within these haunted halls. In 1974, a stay at the Stanley Hotel would inspire one of the most famous horror novels of all time. It was in this year that acclaimed author Stephen King and his wife found themselves booking a stay at the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado. The Kings were the last guests before the hotel closed for the winter season, and they found themselves virtually alone in the sprawling, eerily quiet edifice. It was a setting that would spark the imagination of any writer, let alone a master of horror like King. King had been searching for inspiration for his next novel, and he found it in the Stanley Hotel's long, empty corridors and the grand, deserted ballroom. There was a certain uncanny quality to the hotel that resonated with him, a sense of isolation and creeping dread that permeated every room and hallway. And so, from this unsettling experience, The Shining was born. The Stanley Hotel, previously known for its grandeur and history, suddenly became synonymous with King's chilling tale of a haunted hotel and a family driven to the brink of madness. The impact on the hotel's reputation was immediate and profound. Horror fans flocked to the Stanley Hotel, eager to experience for themselves the eerie atmosphere that had inspired King's masterpiece. The hotel embraced its newfound fame, even offering ghost tours and hosting an annual horror film festival. The Shining had not only given the Stanley Hotel a new lease of life but also cemented its place in pop culture as a mecca for horror enthusiasts. In the world of horror, few places hold as much mystique and allure as the Stanley Hotel. Its iconic status is inextricably tied to The Shining, a connection that continues to draw curious visitors year after year. Whether they're hoping to catch a glimpse of a ghost or simply to soak up the spooky ambience, there's no denying the enduring appeal of this haunted hotel. The Stanley Hotel's haunting history continues to fascinate and terrify to this day. Today, the Stanley Hotel stands as a testament to both architectural beauty and supernatural mystery. Its grand facade and lush surroundings draw in admirers of history and architecture, while its eerie past captivates the hearts of supernatural enthusiasts. The hotel has embraced its haunted reputation wholeheartedly, offering ghost tours and paranormal investigations that take visitors on a spine-chilling journey through its storied past. This former summer retreat is now a year-round destination, its fame reaching far beyond the borders of Estes Park, Colorado. It's not just the architecture or the spectacular mountain views that draw people in, it's the thrill of possibly encountering one of the Stanley Hotel's spectral residents. From the playful spirits of children to the ethereal figure of Flora Stanley playing her piano, the hotel promises a thrill for everyone. Whether you're a fan of history, architecture, or the supernatural, the Stanley Hotel has something to chill everyone's spine.